You could almost argue that having the narrative kind of stop making sense and just having Bachelor and Haruspex be very blatantly a repeating daily quest, further losing immersion and losing the ability to interpret them as being people, goes hand in hand with pulling back the fourth wall and having your character become self-aware of the fact that they're not real, for example. But I don't think that's what they're going for. I think it's just they ran out of time or something. I don't think that's an intentional comparison to be made. If my quests haven't arrived, I might need to sleep just to pass some time to make them spawn. Unless this is the only quest today. I found out everything. Really? Amazing. You exceeded the expectations then, since no one was demanding such dedication from you. It was I who have found out everything. You have helped me there. I even feel a certain degree of gratitude. Why just a degree? Because you are an instrument of the law, and I am its servant. Both are doing their duty, but only the latter willingly. I don't understand. Summing up the conclusions drawn from your discoveries, I shall combine the causal relationships into a coherent picture. I shall reveal the arcane nature of the disease to which you, from a I shall reveal the arcane nature of the disease to you from a mystical standpoint. That was how it should have been revealed to you. I suppose all that I will tell you will be no news to you. Still, it will determine the wording of your verdict. Sounds ominous. Are you interested? Do tell. It's really about you. So the Earth begat the town, two entirely different worlds that have nonetheless managed to achieve a symbiotic coexistence. That was a miracle, a true miracle. Normally, civilization devours tradition. Why? People aren't inclined to be on good terms with their own history. Yet in this particular town, the impossible happened. The people prevailed over the power structures. How did it happen? As you can see, the town is small. It's made up of people, not ranks and functions. Fortuitous circumstances had enabled people to create an environment here that everyone could be happy in. But that was entirely due to a miraculous coincidence. What coincidence? It's rare that a succession of extraordinary personalities should stand at the helm for 5 generations. It's even rarer that they should have the love and respect for one another that allows them to carry on the policies of their predecessors. Here, they have grown used to the miracle, and that was their undoing. They wanted to learn to control the miracles. The elder generation had constructed an environment for bringing up the young in the same spirit. They paid for it. Why? The law stipulates a harsh punishment for an attempt to capture a miracle. The disease is a means of restoring the balance. The part of the chimeric town must be destroyed. And there is no turning back. The town and the miracle cannot coexist, and I swear I know what the choice should be between them. But what about me? What's going to happen to me? You are an instrument of the law, but your mission has been accomplished. And it being my mission, not merely to understand you, but also to rein you in, I hereby prohibit you from existing. I banish you from the town. The captured miracle shall pass into oblivion. You may vanish into the earth you came from. Go. I permit you. Both of you, to be exact. To die in any way you prefer. On one condition. You are forbidden from ever approaching the commander. Otherwise, he may fancy himself your tool, or the other way around. I don't even know which is worse. Go. Farewell. The story repeats itself. Aglaia has expelled me, branded me a villain, and demanded I should vanish from the face of the earth. However powerful this new enemy, it's a trifle against everything else I have to bear. Since we're no longer friends with her, should I go to the commander? He would be in the town hall. Is this reverse psychology? Is this... Does she want me to go to the commander, and that's why she told me not to go to the commander? I wonder... It's almost inevitable. You usually can't just order someone to go die and then they actually just go die. That's a weird move. So I guess here we are. We're already in the part of the story where Clara is with the commander, which is what we always saw as at least the Haruspecs. I don't remember if the Bachelor saw it. So our interaction with Aglaia was minor and quick. Her primary influence, she had two small quests where she didn't have a lot for us to do, but the big thing was that she used us. She kind of used us to turn on Alexander, while Alexander also turned on us himself in the fear of her. And so her very existence is a catalyst that leads to us leaving the Alexander Saburov family. But aside from that, precious little. Oh boy, that's expensive. Turns out if you run around wearing all these clothes, it gets expensive pretty quickly. It also turns out that I have an excess of money that I won't necessarily know what to do with, so maybe it's still totally valid to run around with a bunch of stuff on me. I should take the stuff off, it's just that remembering to put it on is something I don't really think to do. So if I take it off, then it often leads to just me not using them at all, which defeats the purpose of having it at all. Drugs, 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 give me the drugs, please. It happened! It's not even expensive. I even have too many needles. I can save the nuts. It's a schmouter! It happened. I didn't drop anything, right? Cool. I've got a third schmouter. Ha. That RNG is so rare. But I got it. I got it. It was even a street girl. It's almost never in the streets. I was expecting to find all of mine via going into the houses where there's usually like 2 of them. Mass trading shit cause I can. I don't know what else to do with half these items. So this explains the strangeness of me going to block the new person in town and not getting a quest, because you always get a quest from the new guy in town. That's just the trend. It's because the arc of today's storyline was for me to end up coming to him at the end.
That does it. I'm gonna break soon.
Why have you come to me? Should I take it as a sign? Inquisitor Aglaia Lilich has prohibited me from seeing you. Why? The Inquisitor fears and detests me. I must say it's mutual. Most of all, I'm worried the mission that mission to save the town or to destroy it, however you prefer to think of it, may degenerate into a long-range artillery duel. She is surely going to plot and scheme. But she must follow your orders, mustn't she? On the contrary, my duty calls on me to obey the Inquisitor, but Lilith is always playing her own game. I've heard that she was once condemned to death for it. I suppose they pardoned her in the end. She will make a dishonest decision. One dictated, not by her duty, but by covert calculation. Both of the healers have clearly already been poisoned by her deception. But why is she overestimating my role in this so much? She isn't overestimating. I had been greatly impressed by you, long before I saw you. How's that possible? On our way here, a lieutenant told me a legend about the Holy Sisters in Arms of the warriors. He spoke of medieval wars, of pilgrimages, of the power of the Holy Spirit that led quiet and unassuming young girls, orphans, beggars, and peasants, to call the might of great armies to a lofty duty. I was profoundly moved by his story. It was a mere coincidence. Coincidences like this don't happen by chance. No, I gave it a lot of thought as we were traveling here. His stories had come at the right moment. My life was approaching a watershed. Yes. I've staked everything on this military operation. My mission, my soul, my own destiny, and our country's. I need a voice from above, because I don't know who to listen to anymore. Speak on? Yes. My deployment to this plague-stricken little town was an expedition into hell. I was meant to die here, and so it will happen. The old Alexander block will die, but a new one will emerge from this place, from this town. An army will set out on a glorious march in the name of truth. I hope it doesn't end in disaster. My work for today is done. I am still not completely alone. A single tiny hook is left in town, holding me steady. I am not speaking of a sister anymore, but of the immortal man. Simon Kane is the last person I should see here. We're building up to an encounter with Simon Kane. Okay. That's a direction to take things in. Also, yeah, I finished the day's quest. It's not noon yet. It's not even noon yet. I need to get some sleeping done, I guess, because I need these letters to come in to give me any other quest today. I assume there's more quests today, right? Alright, I'm interested. Let's see where the quest takes me in the main story when it comes to this other character, because the Saburov stuff's completely over. They don't even really talk to me anymore. But the Lilith arc was almost non-existent. There just wasn't much. Oh, right, everything's really expensive now. Do I have fuel to send? Oh, I have one to sell? Okay, well, that clears out that slot. I got a schmatter today at least. Taking me to 3, which might be an all-time... That might be a record high, but I'm not sure. Either way, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to wait it out and see when the story deems it necessary to tell me if there's any more side quests today. It's weird to have the main quest done so early, but that is not the rarest occurrence in the Changeling campaign. Okay, come on, you guys are just in plain sight this time. Like, there's the Saburovs. And here you are. Hi. Where's the... There you are. Go on, get. 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 There we go. Bye. My reward has been cemented. And also the letters have arrived. In search of Dankovsky. I have to ask you for a favor once again. They're much embittered by the events that took place yesterday. They both went to see Commander Block yesterday, and the meeting gave the Haruspecs additional incentive to end Daniel once and for all. Daniel went to the Tanner's district to speak to Andre. After that, for some unknown purpose, he wanted to inspect the houses next to the Twirene Shebin. Shebin? I don't know the word. Shebin. Please tell him he must leave there at once. The drunkers from the Shebin will likely reveal his whereabouts to the Haruspecs. We don't have much time. Rest assured I will pay you for the service as well as the services to follow. Maria Kaina. Warn the Haruspecs. Just as I thought, Clara. The first two medics that hold our fate in their hands have been Okay, so this doesn't make sense. We can all like hold hands and agree and acknowledge that this just blatantly makes no sense, right? Like this... What the fuck? First of all, in what universe are the Haruspecs and the Bachelor going to tear each other apart if they see each other at any point over the course of these days? We sometimes get a reference to that. Sometimes we'll hear about how like, oh, the Bachelor is going to come and get you. He's going to come shoot you. Like when you start each campaign as the Haruspecs and the Changeling, everyone tells you the Bachelor's gonna shoot you if he finds you, and then by the time you find him, he's conveniently gained additional information, so now he's not gonna shoot you anymore. Like that's what they do in the story each time. But this is way crazier. This is like every single day they're going to murder each other, so you have to warn them to leave. Which like I've already gone over how it's bizarre to just say the same message to them over and over and over again. But in addition to this, I'm getting this message from Aglaya Lilich, who told me to go die. She told me to go die in the woods, not the woods, but, you know, go off into the steppe and die. That's what she said to do. And now she's sending me messages about the Haruspecs the same day. This is made additionally bizarre by the fact that I've already talked to the Haruspecs and the Bachelor today, and they were in the same building together. Like, what is this? There's like 50 reasons why this doesn't seem to make any sense. Like, the characters that are asking me to do this don't make sense. The logistics of this problem doesn't make sense. The narrative reason why they're about to kill each other is mostly just not explained. And the why I need to just give them a message saying, hey, stop hanging out here every single day is bizarre. And also the part where they're simultaneously a risk to each other at the same time. What? Like, what? The best I can think of is they had the idea about the sister that you have to chase away every day, which I think is mechanically interesting because she poses a threat to each area. She's going to infect all these different districts. So, like, as far as I can tell, I'm actively fighting the infection of this town by doing that quest line. And I think I'm literally making the screen. I think I'm literally making it so the map is less red every day because of the fact I'm doing that quest. So that's cool. It's a bummer that the narrative doesn't advance and I just do the same dialogue with her and with her followers every day. But at least it makes sense in concept why that quest chain's happening. The best I can think of is they couldn't come up with more side quests for Clara, and they were like rushing the game out, and you know, like the campaign was unfinished for the third campaign. So they basically used that they probably just used what she already was doing for Clara and just said, do that again for Dankovsky and Burke every day also. That's all I can think of. And then, but like, I can't really explain why it's happening in universe and also how that fits with the fact that I've already talked to both those people today, and the fact that Aglaya told me to die today, and she told me to leave and die, and now she's doing this? It's bizarre. Just as I thought, Clara, the two medics that hold our fate in their hands have decided to fight each other. They give every appearance of friendship now, but each of them is furtively preparing a group of henchmen primed to capture, maim, and destroy their opponent. How are they giving How are they giving the appearance of friendship? This is not even my first day of having to stop them from chasing each other down. It's not even my third day. It's like my fourth or fifth day of doing this. My spies have informed me of the preparations the Bachelor undertakes. I am powerless here, for I cannot arrest the Bachelor while I still need his services. The best we can do is warn Burke of the possible assault. He is working in a house next to the Lump, the Olgimsky family home. That's helpful information. So, by the Olgimskys, and where were you? You were by the bar. Huh. I'll give it a go and see if I can figure out how to find you. It sounds like they're both local, which is useful. I'll still do the quest at the very least, because I don't want more people to go sick and everything. But, like, our campaign's coming to a close. This is day 9. And as we all remember, day 11 is the last day. Because day 12 is the results screen of the game, basically. Where you just spend all of the cures that you have on hand, and then tell the game to end. Mostly by sleeping most of the day away. Because there's no actual quest that day. Really. Oh boy. Watch out. Oh boy. Oh boy. Please don't burn me, Mr. Bernie Man. So after today, there's only 2 days left in the story. So it definitely, like... It definitely feels like it just didn't go anywhere. Which is really unfortunate. We'll see. We'll see if the main story goes somewhere. But at the rate it's going lately, we can probably only expect one main quest per day. And a somewhat brief one at that. Why did I don't have a reason to be here. Whoops. I was just going to... I was told to come to the house adjacent to this one. Let's give you a go. Please no thugs this time. Oh god. You really shouldn't do that, dude. Close range shooting is hard. Come on, the least you guys could do is have anything on you. The Bachelor's hanging out in an uncharacteristically just barren house. It's weird. Click. These places always have so much stuff in them. Three coins and a yellow oh, there we go. That's something at least. Ooh. They're, a bit condensed, aren't they?
So, the army has entered the town. I wonder how far their authority
goes. You're exactly who I'm looking for, the girl of notable peculiarity. It's the same... It's the same story. Alright, I came to warn you. Yeah, I can see your hate. They don't even write new dialogue, even for these guys. It's like we have the exact same exchange, like, oh, be quiet. You don't care about whether or not I die, he says again, just like he did yesterday. So, if you're seeking an answer as to how the hell this is narratively fitting in with the fact that I already saw both of them today, don't... Too bad. We're not getting that. Oh, it's an angel. I was just talking about how I didn't see one all day yesterday, and I almost finished today without seeing one too. I know because I did both these days in the same real-life day. Goodbye. There you go. It really is just here to give us something to do, isn't it? I would say just delete this content from the game and the game would be better. But you do run the issue of then, if you delete if you delete this content from the game, you end up with a campaign that's kind of embarrassing. I would argue it's already kind of embarrassing regardless, but it would become really embarrassing because there'd be one brief quest for a couple of hours and then nothing else the entire day. Really kind of nullifying the entire, like, rushing through the campaign, like, rushing, shit. Thanks, dude. Yeah, if you removed these three repeating quests that use the same dialogue every day and are really devoid of content, if you removed those, then you wouldn't really have much in the form of content for the entire campaign. So you said it was by the lump. So let's give you a shot. Nope, that's not the one. It's also equipped the gun. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Hello? This is probably it. It wouldn't fire quite fast enough. They came from upstairs. That was spooky. Oop, hey. Hello. I wonder why there's a change in behavior. The loot is just straight up scattered differently between the normal quests and these ones, as far as how it's set about. When you check random houses, any random building might have any random box might have any amount of loot in it. Whereas with these ones, most of the boxes have nothing in them, and then out of nowhere, like, I think almost always, like, it's like two of them have a bunch of them. Here's a different layout. Yeah, this is the version we get during this quest is a different house, I think. Or maybe I've just never been to this house before. Because pretty consistently, there's a wall locker here. Then there's a lady here with this thing, but it's over here. And you have to kind of go around it, because there's like a zigzag thing here, which is that. And there's also there's a desk here normally. It's like the room is rearranged. And it's been pretty consistently always the same, until just now. But it might just be that I've never been to this particular block of houses. Because that's normally the bathroom. The floor is the same, but there's no just shitty bucket in the corner.
Slow and
I'm here to warn you. Blah, blah, blah. There we go. Ta-da! So I got rid of Clara, I got rid of her followers, and I've dealt with the Bachelor and the Haruspecs. Now it's just a matter of going back to Aglaya and to Maria. Am I gonna go back to Aglaya every day in order to claim the reward for the district I cleaned out? Because that's really confusing narratively. Didn't she wash her hands of me and doesn't want to see me anymore, and actually might even, like, it would almost make sense for her to try to attack me if I showed up again. So why would she be rewarding me for doing anything, considering our relationship? I don't know. It's not just a matter of losing It's not just a matter of the fact that the game's kind of losing content at this point. It's that the content that is given also doesn't just lack coherence, it kind of actively reduces the coherence of the game around it. And now it's just becoming a weird, I don't know, a weird messy noise. This is super weird. I hope it doesn't seem like I'm being too harsh. It's hard not to notice that, like, the other campaigns were pretty fleshed out. Even at this point in the campaign, they were even overcrowded with objectives, usually. Things were getting really desperate, as you'd expect from the climax of a game. The final few days, you'd expect things to go really crazy. And instead of that, I'm just kind of lazing about. I do the main story really quickly, and then I do a bunch of optional side objectives that are literally copy-pasted, which is not encouraging. I've only had one desperate day where I was trying to charge across town in a really confined time, like 2 days ago. But that was only because I slept too much in the middle of the day and spent too much looting. No, right, I wasn't sleeping, it was looting. I spent too much time just farming resources and just kind of like, you know, engaging with the systems in the grindy sort of way, and then lost track of time. That was self-inflicted difficulty.
Why can't I move on my own?
Today he will see it and understand everything. The tower itself will speak to him. I've warned the bachelor, and I will remember it. The reward you are about to get is paltry compared to the favors I will bestow upon you in the future. I'll count on it. We'll see if we can trust her on that or not. That's $4 grand. That's not, these are strong rewards, by the way. Admittedly, the quest is a little bit of a pain in the ass because you have to track them down, but some of these clues have actually been pretty easy to follow. Although above all, the fact that the things that spawn in the building are being different. The fact that different enemies spawn based on whether the bachelor or haruspecs are there has actually simplified things. When you're finding the Changeling, it's a huge pain in the ass because you have to go from building to building while the building itself is trying to murder you with plague. But with the haruspecs and the bachelor, all you have to do... I can't get those, can I? Those are expensive. I finally ran out of the stuff I could trade to that guy. All you do is open the door and see if it's the normal looters or if it's the specific goons of that particular character. And then you fight your way through an enemy gauntlet, which is antithetical to the Changeling campaign, it feels like. And then you get a generic reward, but the reward's strong. It's multiple thousands of coins and medicine, which itself is worth thousands of coins. But this is when I need it the least, because this is the campaign where I'm finding it the easiest to just get drowned in excessive resources that I don't know what to do with.
There are so many crows in the sky.
You're no stranger to twists of fate, isn't that true? I found the haruspecs and warned him. The part where his beastly bodyguards almost tore me to pieces is, I suppose, too obvious to mention. I won't forget this, girl. You've done a good deed. It goes that without saying I'm going to reward you and, from now on, trust you a little more. You told me to go die. You just told me to go die in the hills. Like, these things don't fit together. You can't have both. You can't have both. Alright, well I guess that's today done with. 2 more quest days to go, and then the grand finale where I throw my drugs about and swagger in my power. Soon we'll know how this particular campaign chooses to deal with its panaceas. That's the big limit, is how or if I get panaceas at all, and how many of those might be, because that will affect whether or not I can save people. Although the fact that I've done every daily quest means my people aren't at risk, so really it just affects whether or not I get to have the satisfaction of knowing I saved everybody or not. We'll see.